Hey y'all, my name is Raven, my friends call me Ray, and welcome to my channel. So one thing about me is I love a good project. Always been a fairly creative person, but unfortunately that can come to mean that I have a bunch of projects that I start, but I don't always finish them before I move on to the next big thing. So my solution for that is this channel, where I hope to not only share all the cool stuff I'm working on and all the dope things that I'm learning, but also I hope this channel can kind of act as a way for me to focus on what I'm doing and actually finish some of these projects. I think of it as one part video journal, one part teaching and sharing, and one part accountability. As a quick disclaimer, I am not, nor do I claim to be, an expert in anything, but I do love learning and trying new things and figuring this stuff out as I go along. If you're interested in any of the stuff I'm doing, I hope that you can learn something, teach me something, or just get inspired along with me as we go on this dope creative journey together. As I said, I always have at least a few creative projects floating around in my brain. So in an effort to bring some sort of grounding and focus to my creative endeavors, I plan to work on 2 main projects at a time. Main projects because I inevitably know I'm going to dabble in other things, but this is what my biggest focus is on. The idea also is that within the main projects, I'll have little mini projects or steps along the way that I can work on to actually attain the big goal or the big finished project. So, firstly, I have the very ambitious desire to design and sew an entire wardrobe. And I think of it as curating a wardrobe, meaning that I'm going to be really intentional with it. I want to be able to design everything to my body and in my style, things that I'll actually want to wear, and get better at sewing in that process. Beyond the sewing, I'm also going to be very selective about what I actually purchase or even keep within my wardrobe, so it's cohesive, collective, and a great expression of myself. The goal is for all clothing items or things made of cloth to be made by me, but I do know that at this point some things are a little bit beyond my sewing level, and that's okay. I'm learning, I'll get better, I'll get there eventually, but for now there are a few things that I might purchase. The goal, however, is to improve my sewing ability to the point where I'm only wearing me-made stuff. I plan to be extremely intentional about what I sew, make, and buy, and really embrace the slow fashion mindset. The second creative project that I want to work on is in the realm of creative writing. Specifically, I have had a story floating around my head since I was like 16 years old. It started just a flash image, and since then it has grown and evolved and changed to become this intricate, lovely, complex, multi-part saga that I'm really excited to actually get out of my head and finally put it on paper. And the only way to finish something is to start, so I figured now's as good as a time for a starting point as any. And real quick, just a little shout out. I have to say my biggest influence in this project has to be my mother, who is herself a writer and has always encouraged me and anybody else that she comes across that she thinks might have a spark of writing talent to just go for it and write something. And I love seeing her absolute passion and love for writing, and it's inspired me and rubbed off on me a little bit. So, might as well go for it. For now, 2 major projects is more than enough for me, especially with all the mini projects in them and the little interests that are going to catch my attention along the way. It seems like a good balance to keep my brain engaged and corral my brain into focusing on something long enough to finish it, but also giving myself enough variety so that way I don't get bored or get any creative blocks along the way. Also, engaging in 2 different forms of creative mediums allows me to bounce back and forth between them as I go along. So if my brain does reach a creative block on one project, I can switch to the other one and keep those creative juices flowing. And I can honestly use one to procrastinate on the other, which is kind of where the idea started in the first place, to have two main projects. I do eventually want to add some other creative endeavors like music and some other things that have been floating around in my mind, and also some interests. But for now, I think I'm gonna try to at least get a good start on these two. You are more than welcome to join me as I plan, draft, create, and learn, and put these skills into practice. For any updates and behind the scenes stuff, or if you just want to holler at your girl, feel free to check out my socials down below. And until next time, I'll see you. Peace.